remember there was one instance where a fan came up to me and was like, I'm like 17, I'm here with my mom, and I watched you play and I came out to her. And your live show was inspiring enough for me to be like, fuck it, like this is my moment. And I was like, that is incredibly profound, and I'm not even sure I can fully digest it right now, but like, that's so sick, and I'm like so happy for you.
Welcome to Music Makes Us. I'm Kathleen Hanna, lead singer of the bands Bikini Kill and Le Tigre. And now I'm also a podcast host. On this show, I'm going to sit down with the most exciting musicians on the planet, and I'm going to get to talk to them about all kinds of things like snacks, perfect lyrics, unforgettable shows they've seen, treasured artifacts, and more. Everyone always says their podcast is for you, the listener, and that's totally true. But this is also for me. I'm looking for community and finding it in my fellow artists. My guest today is guitar wizard Towa Bird, whose debut album, American Hero, was a heady fusion of pop and rock and one of my favorite records of the past few years. During the pandemic, Towa's awesome guitar covers went viral on TikTok, and she's become one of the rare few unicorn-type people who've been able to make the transition from social media star to live musician. So don't go anywhere. The reason Towa's been able to make the leap from TikTok to mainstream music is that her skills as a guitarist are just absolutely undeniable. And she's got this genuine presence and star quality. It really didn't hurt either that she was the hand-picked guitarist for Olivia Rodrigo's 2022 documentary, Olivia Rodrigo Driving Home to You, a sour film. Towa is also just a natural songwriter. You only need to listen to a song like Drain Me, her steamy hit single about lesbian sex, to have proof of that. Alongside artists like Chappell Roan and Claude, she's part of a really cool group of innovative queer pop musicians to emerge in the past few years. For me, someone like Towa, who's queer, biracial, and androgynous, is a great person and a great symbol of the kind of stars we desperately need more of. Because if kids don't see people who look like them or act like them making music, they may not make music either. In our really fun conversation, we talked about her love of Jimi Hendrix and Prince, taking a blind leap of faith to move to LA, the outward image of success versus the reality of it, the priceless advice Joan Jett gave to Kristen Stewart for the movie The Runaways, and of course, Towa's favorite airplane music. And so much more. Oh yeah, we also play the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame artifact game, which is like kind of one of the funnest things ever. Towa has so much charisma and talent. I'm so excited to see where she goes next. Although, as you'll hear, I might actually be somewhat involved in that. So I was just going to start with asking you a question about if there was like a record when you were a kid.
Yes.
Because you moved a lot. You moved around a lot. And
This is my fourth country.
Exciting, yet also probably pretty stressful on a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I used to take Olivia Newton-John Totally Hot, the album, everywhere I went. When I went to camp, I took it to camp and I put it under my pillow without the vinyl in it.
Sweet. It's like the Tooth Fairy is Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, exactly. I needed her always with me. I was wondering if there was an album as a kid that was kind of your rock or your stability.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I have like a couple albums that come to mind, but for me, the one that I like had a huge poster of this. I had it on vinyl, I had it on CD, and then I also had it like on digital when that was the thing, was Are You Experienced by Jimi Hendrix, the yellow one. I love the cover art so much. It's just like such a great use of the fisheye lens. They all look so cute and like pretty, and the music is fucking amazing. And also like discovering that so young into my like adolescence, I feel like was such a gift. He is an amazing songwriter and an amazing guitarist, and it really like informed my musicianship.
There's all these studies about 12-year-old girls and about how at 12, that's when so many girls like stop raising their hand in class, and they get like really freaked out about their appearance and really worried about being bullied or, you know, all of the different things, really, really self-conscious. And I think it's so awesome that you watched the Jimi Hendrix documentary when you were 12.
Yeah.
And like, can you tell me what that felt like?
Yeah, like he was my God. Like he was my Jesus Christ. Like he was everything to me when I was growing up. He really like he was everything from like a fashion icon to a music icon to me. And I remember watching his documentary, which I think was like illegally pirated onto YouTube. And I remember just like I was home alone. I was in my living room in Hong Kong. And I remember just like getting up on the couch and like, you know, that kind of visceral like energy when you're that young. And I was like jumping around and like bouncing up and down on all the cushions and like throwing myself off the back of the sofa and kind of just like ricocheting around the room, because I just remember how inspiring his playing, his stage presence, the raw energy on stage. And this was through YouTube, so it was also like super fucking pixelated and terrible quality, but I just remember feeling all of that energy from him. And I was like, wow, this is what I want to do with my life.
I love the idea of a 12-year-old girl being like, this is my thing. It's like, not only do I want to be like a great guitar player, I like literally want to be Jimi Hendrix right now.
I want to look like him. Like, what is he wearing and how do I get those clothes on me now? And I'm also like 12. Like my boobs are just coming in. Like, what's happening? Like, there's no way that I can dress like him. But like, I need everything that he's got.
When I went to visit the Rock Hall, I got taken down to the vault and I saw a pair of his pants. And I think it was pants and a little jacket. And they were so tiny. Yeah. Teeny, teeny, tiny. Like you probably, when you were 12, could have worn them. Like they were so teeny, tiny.
I actually don't know how tall he was.
I think he was really small.
Like a short prince, a short king.
Yeah.
Nice.
So speaking of all of the moving.
Yes.
I want to talk about TikTok, which is like the best conversation to have. Is anything about social media is so fun to talk about.
So rock
want to
and
talk
roll.
about it all fucking day. I think it's really interesting that in a way, like you're somebody who you've moved so much. And then in a way you moved from being inside people's computers to being in real life, like on arena stages. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering what that jump was like from like kind of being a TikTok star to being a star in real life, or being, I don't want to call you a star because it's so embarrassing. But what was it like going from being a TikTok star to then being in arenas?
It's a huge jump. It's a huge jump. Also, the first thing that I thought of was everyone always thinks that I'm much shorter than I am. Like, whenever I meet people in real life, they're like, wow, you're so much taller. And I'm like, do I really just give like short person energy online? Like after COVID ended and I would meet people, that was like the conversation that I had every time. But yeah, it's really a huge shift. You suddenly now have a live audience to address. Like people are giving you their feedback in real time. You can see it in their face. You can see it in the way they respond in their body language. And playing a live show is kind of essentially reading a room the entire time. And when you're recording on your like little phone, there is none of that energy. There's none of that like feedback. It's all just in your head. It's almost like you're performing for the future. You know what I mean? Like you play your like little clip, your song, and then you upload it for like audiences in the future to view. Whereas in person, it's just very authentic.
It's such a different, because like I kind of came up doing music in the 90s and we didn't have the internet or any of that stuff. Like we had to carry our instruments on our backs up the hill.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish things were like that.
You know, I wish that for you too.
Yeah.
I do. I really do. Like I wish that for like everybody who I meet who didn't have a chance to like live in the world where like we would go to coffee shops because like nobody had coffee makers. And like, so you'd wake up in the morning, you'd walk to the coffee shop, you'd like see a friend, you'd sit down, you'd maybe write in your journal, you'd hang out. Like if you wanted to see somebody, you'd do like call them or go to their house. There wasn't like, instead of real life, you didn't have another thing. So it was like, I feel like sometimes, we get alienated. But anyways, you have talked about having a hard time navigating your way through like music industry events and stuff and doing red carpets. Have you found ways to make it fun for yourself Or are you still just like, you're rolling your eyes, so I think I know the answer?
I mean, is it ever gonna be like natural and chill? Is it ever gonna be like a cool, easy thing to do, like a red carpet? I don't know. I always feel like a fucking fish out of water at those things. But I definitely have like developed somewhat of a toolkit to like learn how to calm myself down before I do it and like be okay. But those things are really difficult. And what's really cool is the more that I do them, the more I realize everyone else feels exactly the same way. So we're all just being really awkward together. So at least there's some sort of like camaraderie there, you know?
So I know that probably the part you love the most is like actually like writing songs, making music, and especially playing live.
Yeah, I love playing live.
But sometimes, you know, there's all the business stuff that is like total bullshit and you have to do it. Have you ever had like a interaction with a fan that just made you feel like, you know what, it's worth it. It's worth it to go through this crap because I helped this person through a hard time or...
Yeah, like I definitely have had so many of those moments. Like my fans, they're literally so funny. Like everything is a joke to them, and like they make everything feel really lighthearted and easy for me. They are actually the funniest motherfuckers ever. I love them. But there are a lot of queer kids. There is like a sense of community amongst my fan base for these kids, and I have had, you know, fans come up to me. Like I remember there was one instance where a fan came up to me and was like, I'm like 17, I'm here with my mom, and I watched you play and I came out to her, and like your live show was inspiring enough for me to be like, fuck it, like this is my moment. That is incredibly profound, and I'm not even sure I can fully digest it right now, but like that's so sick. Like that's so sick, and I'm like so happy for you.
I have super goosebumps. I have like goosebumps on my goosebumps. Well, because it's seriously like, you know, right now the world's a total mess, and it's like really hard to feel like, oh yeah, I should be writing an album right now. Mm-hmm. But I think we're just like bridges to bring people hopefully back to themselves.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, to know that you got to be a part of that moment in that person's life where they're like, you opened the door for that moment to happen is so...
It's so special.
It's really, really special.
It's so special. That's like definitely my favorite thing about this job is obviously I love making music. I love playing live, but I think that like my favorite thing is like creating a sense of community as like the world feels less and less communal.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, yeah, well, I could go off, but I wanted to tell you this quote that I think it's one of my top 3 quotes by a musician in an interview. And you said, I'm already a lesbian monster. So if I had Chapel to look up to when I was 14, I would have been an absolute menace. It's so good. It feels to me like you and Chapel and a lot of other people right now, Claude, I mean, I could name a bunch of people, but are part of creating a really kind of fun musical clubhouse for queers that is really inclusive. Does it feel that way to you, or is that just something that I'm seeing from the outside?
There was this term that was being thrown around, I think last year, that it was like, we're in the lesbian renaissance, where like all of these artists coming to the front are out and proud lesbians. And like, I loved like being a part of that in a small way. But yeah, I think it does and it doesn't, because I feel like when I started, you know, when I went back to when I was 11 it was just me and my boy Jimi Hendrix, it was like, I just want to make music and I just want to make people feel the raw energy that I just felt. And it had nothing to do with my like sexual identity. And now kind of coming into my like mid-20s, I'm like, okay, like this is really an important part of who I am, but it's also not the only thing that's important about me. I'm also like a really cool songwriter and a cool guitar player, and I got great hair, and I'm 5'10". There are other things going about me.
And you played sports as a kid.
Yeah, and I played sports.
What was your sport?
It was football, soccer.
Soccer,
yeah.
Well,
football.
And you were like gonna like pursue that as your thing.
There was a moment where I had this like deranged idea that was going to be my job, which I mean, music is a really hard industry to get into, but sports is even fucking more impossible. Like my dream jobs growing up were like soccer, like a soccer player, a musician, and an astronaut. Not ambitious at all, clearly. Did not want big things for myself. But yeah, I wanted to play football professionally at some point in my early childhood.
Did you learn anything from sports that you took into being a musician?
I mean, I loved being part of a team. Like I loved being part of something bigger than me, which almost also actually links back to the question that you asked about being part of this kind of like lesbian renaissance. It's nice to feel part of something larger than you. Like you're part of a movement rather than just like it removes you from kind of like an individualist idea, and you're like more part of like a group and a community.
Okay, so we hung out before and we talked, and you said something that I've actually been thinking about since. You were talking about that moment of like going into a bar with your friends and feeling like, uh-oh, we're like the freaks who just walked in, and then changing the room into like, actually, we're the party starters. Yeah. We're starting this party, and then like seeing a room change.
Yeah.
And I picture everything as like a movie scene. And I was like, okay, so do you walk over to the jukebox and like hit the jukebox, and then like the ultimate song that will get all your friends dancing comes on? And like, what's that song?
Oh, wow.
What's the soundtrack to that night? Like, does it start out like you walk in and they're playing like Moves Like Jagger? My Maroon 5.
Oh my God, I haven't thought about that song. That's a good one. I mean, do you know Charlie XCX?
Yes.
It's got to be something from Charlie XCX.
Oh, yeah.
Her album Brat. That's just like every single person that I know is obsessed with that album. There's a song called Club Classics on there, which I would love to hear at any moment in my day.
Club classics. When I go to the club, I want to hear those club classics. Club classics. Club classics. When I go to the
There's a song called Bondage on there that I would also love to. Like, there's so many amazing songs on there, and I know my like queer ass friend group would die for that. So it's got to be something off that album.
I like that.
So
the
Brat.
soundtrack.
So Brat.
You've talked about how important it is for you to successfully translate your albums into an exciting live show. Mm-hmm. And so I would love to talk to you about the process of moving American Hero from the studio onto stage.
For that album, that was something that felt really, really important to me. That was like, I really want every single instrument to be one that can be replicated live. I want there to be like two guitars and they're both playing different parts. I want the vocals to sound live. I want the drums to be live. I want it all to feel really live. And I was really happy that I did that with my first album. But on this next album, I didn't fixate so much on that. I was like, what if I just explore the idea of it being a really fucking awesome studio recording, and then that leaves space for me and my live team to sort of expand on the idea and create almost like not like another version, but almost like an extension of the song that feels almost like different to the studio record. That's what I was really excited about. Like the first one, I wanted it to be kind of old school in that way. And yeah, the second one, I was a little bit more relaxed with that.
It makes sense that you would at first be like, I want this to sound live. And then I love that you went into the next record and you're like, you know, I'm going to make a record. And like seeing it as this is one art form and live is another art form, and they're connected, but they don't have to be, they can be separate things. I think it's such a great way to think now.
Yes.
Because I don't want to go to a concert and hear exactly what I hear on the record.
Yes.
I want to hear another version.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's definitely times where people are like, they want to hear the song exactly like the song. Mm-hmm. And if it's something like Drain Me, which was like kind of a big hit, they probably want to hear Drain Me exactly like it's on the record. But if it's songs that like haven't really been out for long, you can have a lot more leeway with them.
Yeah.
And I really like that idea that people can come and get something totally different than on the album. And also you can figure it out later.
That's another thing is like I didn't want to feel like restricted by like, oh, well, I've said that I want to make it feel live, so I have to like use these certain instruments and I have to like stay within the lane of it feeling live. This album, I was like, fuck that. Like, we can put whatever instrument. Like, let's fucking throw a French horn in there. Like, why not? Strings? Let's go.
So I want to talk about American Hero. And first of all, I want to talk about the title because it's such a fucking flex. And I am very interested in how you came up with it.
Yeah, so I think for me, it was kind of like, I'm, as we've discussed, like not American. I'm not from here. I grew up not here. Like especially when I was writing this album, America and the US was very fresh to me. It was really like I was learning how to be a part of this culture and like learning how to act in the US. It felt like a big cultural shift for me. And the kind of hero part of it was a lot of the songs are really vulnerable. I was like really disclosing a lot of information about myself that the world had never heard before because it was my first record. So I was really opening up on this record and talking about things that felt super personal to me. So when you think about the idea of an American hero, you think of this like blonde haired, blue-eyed, 6'4", big macho biceps man, you know, very like heteronormative, very like straight. And I think the album inherently like contradicted that. And it was sort of like I'm making up what would be maybe a new American hero, like an immigrant, you know, a queer person, a mixed person, like the sort of the new age American hero, like queer, and, you know, these songs being very heartfelt is almost like a new version of heroism.
I totally felt that. I grew up listening to Lynyrd Skynyrd, which is like a Southern fried rock American band,
I'm
like
aware.
total American band, right?
Yeah.
So I was listening to Sorry, Sorry, your song.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, you really did listen.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
Kathleen.
did. No, I just like showed up here and I was like, Wikipedia'd you. But the thing that I really, really moved me about that song was it took me on this journey of like, that sounds so corny. It's like, it took me on a tapestry of a journey. Sorry, Sorry really took me on this interesting journey of like maybe kind of falling in love with a friend, having a crush on a friend, being like, I don't want to ruin this relationship. And you're talking about a girl or a woman. And I can just say girl, right? Because like I say girl all that.
Say whatever the fuck you want, man. It's up to you.
Like,
it's your podcast, man. I'm just here.
So Sorry, Sorry takes us on this whole journey of telling this girl,
yes,
who maybe you're starting to fall in love with, I don't think we should do this because it might ruin our friendship.
If we started something, it'll be the start of the end.
But it's really poetic and it's really beautiful and it takes a lot of turns. And then it kind of goes to like, no, I'm going to save our friendship. But no, I'm not. I'm going to totally start making out with you now. But no, I'm not. But it's like, it's also really like tender towards the girl that you're singing about. Like it's really like thoughtful. And I was like, this is the antidote to Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Because in Freebird, the Lynyrd Skynyrd guy is just like, hey, I'm as free as a bird. And this bird you cannot change. You cannot tame. And I was like, this is the opposite of like this dude just being like, saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like we can't be together. But instead of being like, but I really like you and I really want to be your friend and I'm actually sincere and here's all the things that are great about you. It's just like, this bird you cannot change.
Towa Bird or Freebird?
I know.
Me and Lynyrd Skynyrd are like this. We're really aligned.
Yeah, no, it was like in our house, like, yeah. My
No,
sister
that's so
was
funny.
really into like Southern fried rock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like she painted Molly Hatchet on the roof of her high school in paint.
That's epic.
Like house paint.
I love that guitar solo. That's an insane guitar solo.
Yeah,
It's a
but
good
it's like
song.
I I'm not saying it's not a good song. It's just like, I feel like I've been tortured by it since I was like 5 years old or whatever it came out,
like,
where it was just like,
free me.
Well, and then it's like, if you start being a band in the US and like you're at all hated for like being a feminist or something, it's like, how many dudes have yelled, "Free Bird"? Well, I'm like, this song's about domestic violence. And there's like some dude yelling, "Free Bird."
Play Free Bird.
A for effort on that one.
The Free Bird trauma.
So in your song, "This Isn't Me," you say, "I'm nameless and everybody here's so fucking famous. Is it too late now to say that I really hate this?" I laughed out loud. I LOL'd on that.
Could I be more straightforward?
Yeah, but it's I mean, there's a lot of moments on the album that's like sort of like fish out of water in LA. And I mean, you're like the new kid who's like trying to figure stuff out, but it's also like you're thrown into this really weird situation with like probably people who are like, oh, my great grandfather invented the elevator and I have this mansion because I have elevator money. You know what I mean? Like,
to have elevator money.
There's only one way to go.
Yeah.
That's up. Anyways, have you ever gotten so frustrated that you were just like, I can't do this?
I've never felt like I can't do this. Like it never got to that point, but I definitely think it was a huge culture shock to come here specifically for work and to kind of pursue music. And so to be thrown into the industry in LA, which it can feel really superficial at points. And that was something that took some time to get used to. And there are a couple songs on the first album that I was like, I'm fucking pissed off, man. Like, why can I not have like a real conversation with a real human being today? Like, please let me like chat to you normally. Yeah.
I'm sure this is totally by accident, but American Hero really cemented your place as a heartthrob. And I'm wondering.
Is that true?
Yeah, you're a total heartthrob.
No way.
Oh my God, you're totally. No, you're like a heartthrob. And I mean, you should be a heartthrob. Who was your heartthrob growing up? Besides Hendrix?
Yeah. Fuck. It was like a lot of like really feminine looking men. I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, I didn't have like a woman who I felt like, oh, this is the person that I want to aspire to be. Like it was a lot of like androgynous boys. It was Hendrix, Prince, Jagger. The way they dressed, the way they carried themselves, they had like a sex appeal, but they were humble about it. They could play guitar in this way, like Prince and Hendrix could play this guitar in this way that was so like just so beautiful to me. That would make my heart throb.
Aww. You know? Well, you mentioned in an interview that like Prince and Joan Jett were two people who.
Oh, Joan Jett.
Yeah, who
heartthrob.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so hot. Joan Jett, if you're watching this.
Oh, I'll send it to her. So you mentioned that Prince and Joan Jett were artists who made you maybe feel validated in terms of being more gender fluid. And I had the same thing. Like when Joan in the Crimson and Clover song didn't change the pronouns and saying, you know, she, I almost fell out of the car. Like I was like, it was like this moment of like, my breath got taken away and I was like, I could like a girl? That's an option for me?
I know.
You know, like, and it's like such a simple thing. Or like I saw Prince's self-titled album and the picture of him, I was like, it was so stunning and gorgeous and feminine. And I was like, wow, a man who's not afraid of being feminine. I'm not disgusted. Like there was something about it that was like, I related to me as like, I'm not gross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was wondering if there's any other moments that you had that were like the crack in the sidewalk that the queer rose grew through, or any kind of like thing that you saw where you're like, that's me, or like, I exist because of, you know, I was watching Don Kirshner's rock concert, which is like this old show. They played a video by David Bowie where he was like, I am the DJ, I am what I play. And he was with another guy the whole time with his arm around the guy. And I was just like, I was a little kid and like definitely things were not as open as they are now. And I was just like, wait, what? You know, I mean, I wish I could have rewound it, but we didn't have VCRs. But you know what I
You
mean?
just have
Those
to save
moments where
that
you
to
just
the
like
hard
see
drive.
something on TV or you see something in a video and
Yeah.
you're like,
Now that we're talking about Joan Jett, I remember watching the movie The Runaways, and Kristen Stewart plays Joan Jett in that movie. And I think that was like my first introduction to the Runaways. Like I knew about Joan and her music and her projects post the Runaways, but I didn't know about the band. And I think I was about the same age as the Runaways in the movie. And I remember watching that movie and like just falling in love with the way that Kristen Stewart played that role and being like, wow, like the attitude, the low-rise leather pants, the guitar being like all the way down to the crotch. Like, yeah.
it's getting hot in here.
Again, it was just me in my bedroom because I didn't have access to these mediums. So I was like early internet kid, just like, how much like queer media can I consume in the shortest amount of time?
Meanwhile, I was at the premiere.
Yeah.
Not to brag, but I was at the premiere with Joan. And,
No, please brag. I need
and
to
Debbie
hear
Harry
this.
was there, and like I went up to Debbie Harry and was like,
man.
said the stupidest thing that like I'm not even going to tell you because like it's the thing that keeps you up at night, and you're like, I really walked up to Debbie Harry and said that. I'm such an idiot. But
the
no, I
cold
remember
sweat.
being really taken by Kristen Stewart's
Yeah.
interpretation of Joan was
Yeah.
so spot on. Like the movements, like everything. And I know Joan really worked with her
Yeah.
on the character. And she said something, I don't know if this was in interviews, but I don't think Joan would mind me saying it, but she's like, Christian, you got to put your pussy to the wood about the guitar. And like, now every time I play the guitar, I'm like,
Put my pussy to
I
the
think about it and I'm just like, but Joan's my friend. I can't think about it like that. You know what I mean? Like, I was very, very fortunate. Like, I was in a really weird place as a young person where
Yeah.
I was, you know, kind of getting really famous as a punk
Mhm.
musician, singer. But like, I was on a label called Kill Rock Stars and I was becoming a rock star.
Mm.
And I felt really like, oh, I'm doing something wrong by getting this attention, but I'm not even asking for this attention because I'm not doing interviews and I don't even have a manager and
Mhm.
we do everything ourselves. And I was so fortunate that Joan kind of jumped in and mentored me and was like, here's how you can make money without, you know, selling your soul to the devil and feeling terrible about yourself. And like, I would follow her around and, you know, see how she did it. And I used to, when she would record, I would be like the dancer in the corner of the room, just like dancing to like keep everybody energetic. Like that was kind of my gig. I was like drinking coffee and eating cookies and like jumping around to like,
Yeah.
I mean,
the
there's
more that-
worse jobs.
Yeah. The more that I hear about your life, I'm like, damn, you're really amazing. You're so cool.
I am not
Not
cool
to toot your
or
fucking horn
amazing.
on your own podcast,
I am
but like
seriously not amazing or
you're
cool
so sick.
at all.
No,
I'm
you're not
proof that,
convincing
like,
me otherwise.
I'm proof that like the biggest nerd can actually get a podcast and get to interview people like you. So thanks for thinking I'm cool, but I think you also know that I'm very goofy.
But I'll take a note of that. So I'm just writing it down. Pussy to the wood. Pussy to the wood. Pussy to the pussy
Once
to the
you
wood.
think it, you can't unthink it. Okay. I love the line in Mayflower where you go, don't worry, I called JetBlue. They got a bunch of flights, but said there's only one of you.
Don't worry, I called JetBlue. They got a bunch of flights, but said there's only one of you.
Okay. You are a heartthrob. I mean, that is so beautiful. And I know that feeling of like being in love with someone and being like, oh, but I got to get on a plane.
Mhm.
How did you write that? What's your lyric writing process like? Or what was it like for that album?
So me and my friend Alexander actually wrote those lyrics together. I always love like writing with another person and like bouncing off ideas. That's my favorite way to write because, I mean, I don't know if you relate to this, but like kind of growing up in band rooms, I'm like accustomed to having people around me. And like rather than it just being like an empty bedroom, just me and a guitar, like I like to be in a room with amplifiers. I like to be in a room with other people and different energies, people coming in and out. like that's my way of writing. So it was me and my friend Alexander, and we wrote in his studio. Yeah, we were just talking about how annoying it is to go and like travel, to be able to like see the person that you want to see, and you have to like fucking fly across the country, and like, and we were laughing about how many, like, there's just like endless flights and there's endless like opportunities to travel, but there's only like the one person that you want to see. And we also thought it was cute that JetBlue and you rhymed. Like I've never thought that JetBlue would be a rhyme for you. And we were just like, we got to put it in the song.
But that's why it's so good, because it's like really specific, and I think it automatically like brings up a thing in your body where it's like actually calling the reservation place or going online to look at it. Whereas if you're just like, do I get on the airplane or not?
Yeah.
Like bringing in a specific thing like that into a song, I think is really a way to get people engaged.
Yeah.
But speaking of traveling all the time, do you have a go-to airplane favorite, you know, like that you listen to when you're traveling?
I really love listening to the 1975 when I'm traveling. There's like something very atmospheric about that music. It's sort of like looking out the window when it's like raining and the like the droplets are kind of like coming past you, and you're sort of like, you're in your movie moment. And I feel like listening to some of their like slower ballads on a plane is like gets me in such a like flight mood. It's like very cozy and comforting to me.
I think also with the stuff like we were talking earlier about like moving so much and then having music as a stabilizer is like, well, I might be moving, but I still have this record.
Yeah.
Or I might be moving, I'm still going to play guitar in this new location. Like I always have, I can go back into my bedroom and I can play guitar. I can meet with people and I can write songs.
Yeah.
And I think that having like your go-to airplane music is almost like having like a throw blanket you put over yourself.
Yeah.
You know, to create like your own little room when you're traveling, or, you know, the soundtrack to even getting to the airport and like what you see on your way out. I think making those moments that can be a drag romantic in some way is really important. Like for a long time, my airplane music was Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal artist to listen to on an airplane.
Yeah, just like the cinematicness, is that a word?
Sure.
Of it?
If you want it to be. Yeah, I agree. I agree. She's a great one to listen to.
Okay, I'm changing topics a little bit because I
Please.
want to talk about the song Bills.
Yeah.
One of the lines is, I can't even afford the jeans I'm wearing. And I just want to talk about that contradiction of like being really famous, but like not necessarily having access to a ton of finances and being around people who do.
Yeah, I think that's a common misconception that people have about artists, is like, if you have an X amount of like social media followers, you must have the same amount in money. And I can tell you for a fact that's not happening. Like, I'm very privileged, very lucky to be here, but like it is like financially like a difficult industry to be in. And it's true. I probably can't even afford these jeans that I'm wearing. The brand gave them to me. I don't know how much they are, but I'm also like I'm terrible at spending money. I don't know about you, but I hate spending money on clothes.
I hate shopping.
I hate shopping too.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
They have a lot of artifacts, from Jimi Hendrix's pants
How do I get my hands on those pants?
to Devo's hats, which, by the way, look like cake molds, to Prince's most famous guitar. When they asked me to donate something, I gave them this plaid lunchbox that I used to keep all our money in on tour.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm wondering if there's a musical artifact from your early life touring, or an outfit you always wore. Like, what would you give them?
Oh my gosh. I mean, one of the more like sentimental things that I have kept throughout the years of being here is I kept the plane ticket from London to LA. I hung it up on my bathroom mirror in my old apartment, and it was the first time that I'd actually been to LA is when I like moved here. I had never been to the city before I decided I wanted to move here. So it was like a full fuck it, man, like let's just do this and like try. And so I always like kept that plane ticket because I was like, I was on that plane. I had no idea what the fuck I was getting into. Like I had no possible way to imagine the city either. Like I used to play like Grand Theft Auto and like drive around the city, which is like mocked up of LA, and I would like try and familiarize myself by like driving around in the game. But yeah, that plane ticket, maybe I'd give that plane ticket.
That's really sweet. I like picturing that. That's a big risk to take. I'm really glad you did it.
Me too. But
Really
damn, I was scared shitless. You know, like you're like, I was like freshly 20 or 21, and like, it's like, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna move across the world by myself with no family and just like do it and no friends.
And look at you now. You're on this awesome podcast with
Now
me.
I'm on this fucking podcast with Kathleen Hanna. You can do anything.
Career highlight.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, are you ready to play a game?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Let's play.
So we're going to look at a picture, and it's something from the vault at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
We don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
And we're going to try and guess, and then there'll be more clues, and then we'll see if we get it at the end. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh, this is great. So I'm seeing like an upright piano that's brown or like mahogany.
I mean, it could be any.
This is hard.
It's really hard. Okay, it's a piano.
It's a piano.
It's like a for real piano. It is a upright walnut. Is it like a Baldwin or something?
I actually have no idea. I'm also like, this is the instrument that I am least familiar with, but we're gonna fucking find out.
Okay, who plays?
Who's amazing at piano?
Who's amazing?
My first two ideas are Paul McCartney and Lou Reed.
Wow, my first was Elton John.
Oh,
But then you look at this
Good.
piano and it's like, if they're going to take a piano, wouldn't they take a piano of his that was like purple and with yellow spots on it or something? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think, I feel like a Paul McCartney or Lou Reed would be more,
yeah.
we don't have to guess yet. Just
Okay.
we have a mix of people here that we're thinking about. Let's see the year. The next thing they're going to give us is the year.
I feel more and more competitive that we need to get it right. I'm thinking I could be Motown too.
Or like, okay, somebody else famous for piano and that would be in the Rock Hall of Fame is like Little Richard.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's a really good call.
Stevie Wonder, but I feel like they would have like a Rhodes
Yeah.
for him. Like I don't feel like I'm associated. I don't
Like an
associate.
upright, like
Yeah,
really like resonant, clangy piano. I don't really associate that with him either.
but Paul McCartney, I could see.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a big clue.
Okay.
1954.
So that's when
The piano is from
1954.
1954.
Like then I think we're closer with
Little Richard.
Little Richard than anyone else so far. 1954.
1954. Can we think of anybody else?
Who's known for piano from that era?
Okay, we have one more clue. Do you want to read it?
Yes, please.
Oh, I saw one word and it means that we're wrong.
Oh, God. Fuck. Okay. When this band got so famous that they found it difficult to stay in hotels without causing a scene, one member moved in with his girlfriend to her parents' house, where this piano was located in the basement. Some of the band's most iconic songs were composed on this instrument.
Were you in a band when you were like a kid?
Yeah.
What was it called?
It was called The Glass Onions.
And what was that from?
It's a Beatles song on the White Album.
Because you said Paul McCartney. Could this be the Beatles?
Like the Beatles is definitely
Okay.
a good guess.
Well, because it's a band that got so famous that they couldn't like go outside, and then he had to take refuge in the basement.
So the band member moved in with the girlfriend's parents.
Okay, some of the most iconic. I mean, Hey Jude.
Yeah, I know. They're a very piano band to me, especially the later albums. I think that's a good guess.
I feel like we need one little bit of help, maybe an audio clue.
Please.
Well, okay.
Yeah, Never heard that one before.
Okay. From this picture of just some random piano, which is like the hardest glue, to that, do you want to say it? Why do I feel embarrassed that we didn't get it right away? But I think we got there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's Paul McCartney's piano.
That was your first thing.
That was my first thing. It could be Paul McCartney's piano, but the audio clue gives me John Lennon. I don't know.
I think we just have to pick the artist. So would the artist be the Beatles?
Yeah. I do think it's Paul McCartney's. Actually, I'm doubling down. Paul McCartney. Reveal. Tiny drum roll. Wow. Okay. Lennon and McCartney.
Ah!
Asher Family Piano. Okay, there it is.
We were both right.
We were both right.
Towa, you were officially right. It was Paul McCartney's piano, or his girlfriend Jane Asher's piano from the basement of their family home.
So that's so cool.
You literally guessed it like right away.
Yeah. My favorite band in the world, man. I love them.
You know, the other thing that it reminds me of is like usually your first thing that you think of, like when you're writing a song or whatever, it's usually that impulse is like the best idea, and going back and like trying to like recraft something that's already there.
Sometimes you just don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Oh, so as it turns out, the piano was made in 1954.
I think that was throwing me off a little bit.
It was definitely throwing me off.
That's cool. That's really sick.
Okay, so now
I love that.
I think we should write a song right now.
Let's do it. That's actually funny.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. What did you think when I showed up in the studio? Were you like, oh my God, she's so fucking weird?
No, I was like, your dress is so killer, man. The one you wore in New York. And
I don't even remember.
You were wearing I remember what you were wearing. You were wearing slippers and you were wearing a pink dress. And I was like, you're so badass. And then I remember you went into the other room so you could do your taxes. And I was like, this is the coolest person in the world. You were like, I'm actually done here. It's time for me to do my taxes.
I just remember when I met you in the studio in LA and I was like so excited to be there. And like, I was like, so what's your vision for your album? Like, I feel like I was like a insurance salesman and not a musician. Like I was like, okay, what's your plan for the future? Let's talk about your future plans. And I was just like, what are all your influences? Here are all mine. And then I just wanted to dance. Like every time the music was loud, I just wanted to dance.
Yeah. And we got burgers. That was a good little day. I really enjoyed that day. But yeah.
And you just came up with riffs like so fast. Like you're just like sit there on the microphone, like singing anything. And I was doing the same thing, but I had to go in the little room because I'm old school. And I feel like all the young people like sit on the couch in the studio room. It's like the thing now. And I was like,
you know what? Actually, since I worked with you, like every session since, I've actually been going in the little room if the little room is available for me. I didn't even realize this until we just spoke about it. Like you rubbed off on me and you were like, this is what I want to do. And I remember being like, oh, that's cool. I think I want to do that too.
There's something about being in the little room that I really like.
Yeah.
Because it feels kind of like more personal and alone. I have a little bit of privacy. But for a really long time, because I was like so destructively indie, every time I sang, even when it was in a studio, I was staring at a toilet because we always used bathrooms because they had the best acoustics for our vocal booths. And usually there was no isolation. We were recording in basements and houses and stuff. And then when I got into my first like professional studio in Seattle, and they're like, oh, the vocal booth is the bathroom. And I was like, oh, I thought I finally made it out. So to me, like having a vocal booth is like this super luxury. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit in here with these doofs. Like I'm going to go in the other room. Like be in my vocal booth.
It's really lovely to have that luxury because even on my first record, like Drain Me and Bills, I recorded in my closet. Like I physically would like run up to my computer, hit record, and then hope that I could make it in time with my SM7 and record it. Those are the final vocals on the record. And would like run into my closet and like close the door and be like, and then start to sing and just like self-engineer. And being in the room, it's so nice.
Yeah, it's nice to also not have to like push the button and run.
Yeah. Pushing the button and run as much as I loved it. So happy that I don't have to do that anymore.
So is there anything that you haven't talked about in any interview that you're like, I've always wanted to say this?
I actually don't know if I have anything else to say. It was such a great interview. Look at you go.
Thanks.
Come on. You can do this.
Thanks. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much to my guest, Towa Bird. For more about Music Makes Us, you can follow the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And subscribe to future windows on Substack for exclusive content. Music Makes Us is a production of Radiotopia and Talkhouse for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The production team includes Jocelyn Gonzalez and Morgan Flannery of PRX Productions, Shelby Morrison, Jenny Thomas, Melanie Wiggins, and Risa Gurkey, with special thanks to Dawn Waite, Sarah Deely, and Ben Adair. Yuri Lasorda is the showrunner, and Nick Dawson is our editor. Executive producers are Liz Peshkus, Ian Wheeler, Audrey Mardovich, and Uli Hoyta Cohen. Publicity is led by J.R. Johnson, Sarah Avron, and David Catrone. And on the marketing team, Mike Russo, Maggie Gorville, and Carter Lou McElroy. We'll be back soon with more Music Makes Us. Tell all your friends and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.